Hello, hockey fans. Well, we are on the final Sunday of the regular season. The final Sunday to feature the matinee doubleheaders on TNT. A couple of those, matter of fact, the first half of that doubleheader is kind of in progress right now, but it's really not that important. I mean, it's Islanders and Devils. The Devils are locked in. The Islanders are done. And of course, the other half of that doubleheader is Boston and Pittsburgh, a battle between two teams who are finished, but Pittsburgh's on because it's Sidney Crosby. Um, there are quite a few other games with quite a bit of playoff relevancy. The playoff picture is still not complete. There are still three spots up for grabs. I really thought those three spots would be filled by Friday, but it's been kind of crazy. It's been kind of crazy. Those three spots are still open, and they could all be filled today, as well as some other important positioning. And of course, I have to point out the Avs. We're playing game number 82 tonight. Yeah, this is the last game of our regular season. It's an interesting schedule. We're going to finish our regular season before other teams do. So, yeah. So, without further ado, let's get to the scenarios involving the three remaining playoff spots and some highly important positioning. The President's Trophy can be awarded today. Yes, it can. It is prestigious, but it's also jinxed. But that's another story. The Winnipeg Jets can win it. Now, yesterday was last night, of course. The Jets won the Central Division and got the number one seed in the Western Conference. First time they've ever number one in the conference, and it's only their second division title in the team's history. Of course, the only other time they won a division was in 06-07, back when they were the Atlanta Thrashers. So, and of course, this is their first division title since the team moved from Atlanta to Winnipeg. So, yeah, the Jets can get it all. The President's Trophy, best record in the league, which guarantees home ice throughout it all. The first two rounds in the division, the conference final, and of course the cup final, should they make it that far. But they can get it if they beat the Oilers in any fashion, doesn't matter how, or if they get 1 point and the Capitals lose, doesn't matter how, or if the Capitals lose in regulation. So if all that happens, the Jets will get the President's Trophy. Another Canadian team that can get good positioning today, the Maple Leafs. The Leafs can win their first division title since the 2020-2021 season, that shortened year. And of course, if you have to go into semantics, it would be their first division title in a full season since the 99-2000 season, which was the year that the aforementioned Jets 2.0, aka the Atlanta Thrashers, debuted. Amazing. So the Leafs moved a few steps closer last night with that 1-0 overtime victory against Les Habitants, and they can get the Atlantic and the home ice in the first two rounds that comes with it. All they have to do is beat the Hurricanes, doesn't matter how, and the Lightning have to lose to the Sabres, doesn't matter how. But if they only get 1 point, then the Lightning have to lose in regulation. So Toronto's close. They are very close to getting that division title, and here's hoping they get it. I mentioned the Les Habitants. They are not playing today, but the overtime loss they had moved them 1 point closer to the playoffs. Their first playoff appearance since that aforementioned shortened year. We all know what happened with them. And they can get in. The magic number is, I think it's one or two. Well, for the looks of it, it's 1 point because the Canadians, they're not playing. But if the Blue Jackets lose, doesn't matter how, then the Canadiens are in. No questions asked. And of course, the Jackets blasted the Capitals at home yesterday, but the game's in DC now, so that's a whole another animal right there. Another team who had a chance to clinch yesterday but didn't. The Minnesota Wild. Um, Minnesota did move closer though. They got that win in overtime against Vancouver, a comeback win. They were down 2-0, and they won it 3-2. Zuccarello got the goal in. So thanks to those 2 points, they are now 1 point away from getting in. And they're not playing today either. But if the Flames lose to the Sharks, doesn't matter how, the Wild are in. And so yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And that's not all, folks. The St. Louis Blues will also be watching that game. They are not playing. They're not playing either. But and last night they lost in a shootout to the Seattle Kraken. Of course, that is a point, and that moved them 1 point closer to getting in. They are now 2 points away from getting in, and they're not playing tonight. But and they'll be watching the Flames game too. But they will need the Flames loss to be in regulation. Now they're playing now the Flames are playing the Sharks. You know, when you play the Sharks, losing doesn't really happen. But it's hockey; anything's possible. So yeah, the playoff picture can be completed. If the Flames lose in overtime or shootout, the Wild are in. If the Flames lose in regulation, the Wild and the Blues are in, and Calgary's season, as strong as it's been, they made it this far, would be over. And that's gonna be pretty. That's gonna be pretty interesting. And those are the scenarios. Those are scenarios that are hitting this day, Sunday, April the 13th, the last Sunday of the regular season. After today's action ends, there will be 4 days left in the regular season. I'm kind of hoping all three get clinched. Spots get clinched today. It'll be, it'll be a lot of riding on vocal, but it'll be worth it. I want to see this playoff picture kind of get completed, which would kind of leave not much for the next 4 days after this. But as long as we know what we know, as long as we know what we know, it'll be interesting. But yeah, oh yeah, regarding Montreal, if they get in, they're going to be the second wild card. They're going to face Washington. Whoever gets the first wild card, most likely Ottawa, they'll play. They'll play most likely Toronto, and that means we're going to get battled for it again. So it's going to be an interesting Sunday. And if any clinches, if any of the three spots get clinched, I will be back here talking about it for sure. It's going to be one hell of a final. Counting today, 5 days of the regular season.